to talk about a little bit of Stevie Ray's tone when you're on a budget like me. I'm not a rich man, nor am I pretty. But here we go. This this here's a fake. I know it says Fender on the end, but I made this myself. This is mostly a Squier, $100 guitar that my wife bought for me in 1992. Now, here's a couple tricks. Number one, your old pickup selector there, throw that puppy on this one up here. You gotta have single coil pickups if you want to pull off the big Stevie Ray tone. And another thing, and some of what I may say may not be popular with a lot of people, but I get sick and tired of hearing people play Stevie Ray stuff on the YouTube and they don't have that great big fat crazy sound that we all associate with the old Stevie man. Now, the first thing you want to do is if you have your volume turned all the way up on that pickup, I want you to listen to something. Now, I'm going to turn the volume down just slightly on the guitar itself. I don't know if you can hear that, but it gets slightly fatter. Now, this won't really remove the volume of the sound, but it fattens it up quite a bit. If I play with the volume all the way up, you have that. If I knock it back a couple numbers, you get a lot warmer of a sound. So you go from something like to something like this. Now I hope you can hear that on my micless, terrible laptop, tiny little speaker. But that's one of the keys. Here's another key. This is the one that's not very popular. To get that sound, you can't have your strings laying down on that fretboard for your high-speed metal type stuff that most people like. They'll pick up the guitar and they'll be like, and they'll look at that thing, and they'll look at the strings, and they'll be like, you know what, I want my strings a little bit closer to that fretboard, and then they'll have somebody adjust it down or adjust the neck or what have you, so that you can get the strings down there so you can get really fast. Now, a lot of what Stevie did came from the height of his strings. Take a look of a Guitar World issue or something like that, where he's playing back like this, and you'll see them strings are like a mile off of the fretboard. I had the privilege once of playing one of the refurbished Stevie Ray guitars, not the fancy smancy shiny ones, but the ones from the custom shop that was set up just like Stevie Ray played, and wow, what a workhorse. It feels as if those strings are like a half inch off the top of that fretboard and then just halfway out to heaven. And that's how he gets that sound. He's playing halfway out to heaven. Now here's another little trick. Some maintenance for you, if you will. Of course, I've left my stuff all the way over here. I'm going to try not to stand up so you don't see that I'm wearing crazy, heartfelt pajama bottoms. But anyhow, here's some tricks for you. Get yourself a nice little, and most of the time your guitars will come with these. Get yourself a nice little Allen wrench. Do some adjustment work on here, raise them puppies up a bit, and use a big one up here. Drop it in the slot. If you push that down, you put in there and you push that down like this, you're going to raise them strings up a bit. If you pull it back, you're going to drop the strings down. Now don't be afraid of doing such thing, because the fretboard ain't going to explode. There'll be no end to what you're doing. The world won't come to an end. There'll be no 2012 scenarios. I was under the impression that growing up as a kid, that if I adjust that neck, it would explode. There'd be wood splinters sticking in my forehead, and all kinds of madness would ensue. But this does not happen. Now, pretty much any Fender amplifier, or hell, even a Peavey or anything with a clean sound that you just slightly dirty up a bit, and you're playing with this here neck pickup on your trusty Strat, because if you're trying to get the Stevie sound, you probably already have a Strat or a Strat type guitar that has the single coil pickups in it, and that's where that big, beautiful, fat sound comes from. And another thing to remember, if you really want to take a good listen at what Stevie's doing, what you want to do is listen to Jimi Hendrix, because all Stevie's doing is amping up Jimi Hendrix's sound like on mega steroids. And isn't that what we're all trying to do? Now, if you notice, I have a distorted sound, I have a clean sound, and I have a metal sound, but I will only use these pickups. There's a little bit of noise in the sauce, but if you're making a good gumbo, you want a little fuzz in the sauce, because that's what bites your tongue. Maybe I'm crazy. Well, hell, maybe I'm just crazy. But this is where you get that Stevie sound, and I hope maybe, possibly, just slightly, that I have taught a little bit of something this time instead of all the madness that I taught before. There's some advice on how to get Stevie Ray's sound on a budget. You can go out and buy all kinds of devices, and you can get those little stomp boards or whatever, the processor things that say Stevie Vaughan on them, and you're not going to get the sound. Because to be honest with you, most of his sound came from his digits. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these 10 little puppies here. From your thumbs to your fingers and all the way down the line. That's where it came from. Raise them strings up. Get some hand strength. Learn to dig into that fretboard. Pretend you have all the confidence in the world, and you're going to come mighty close. And you're not going to sound like you're on the computer playing through a Campbell soup can, like most of them boys that I'm hearing. So, till next time, sit back, maybe trip down to Texas or something like that. That's where my ma is right now. Why I'm not there, I do not know. But you can breathe Stevie's air from anywhere. Thank you very much.